Have you ever wondered why some people can bloom roses in ruins, while others wither in greenhouses? Success is not a kind of luck, it is a belief, an unquestionable self-awareness. What really determines your fate is never your education, background, or resources, but the voice in your deepest heart. It tells you that you deserve better. But the reality is that most people live their lives in domesticated beliefs. They are told don't dream and are taught to recognize reality. They are used to suppressing their ambitions and hiding their edges, just to avoid being too out of line. So they learn to bow their heads in the crowd, learn to disguise themselves in the circle of friends, and finally lived as a person they didn't even know. But the restless fire in your heart has never really gone out. You know you want more. You know you are not here to live a mediocre life. The question is, do you dare to admit it? Do you dare to choose to wake up when everyone is asleep? Do you dare to believe that you deserve everything before everything starts? This is the first secret to success. You have to believe that you deserve everything. Not a little bit, not just enough, but all. You deserve free time, a rich life, a sense of achievement that is worth being proud of, and a sense of existence that is respected by the world. Because if you don't even believe in worth it, you will never really fight for it. Edison did not light up the world with a light bulb, but with that thought, I can do it. Lincoln did not change the country with power, but with that belief, even if I was born humble, I have the right to change my destiny. They all had nothing, they were also ridiculed, denied, and hit, but they never doubted where they should stand. The problem is never the environment, but whether you recognize this. You are not a person waiting for a miracle, you are the miracle itself. From now on, you no longer need the permission of others to become stronger. You don't need to wait for that perfect time. All you have to do is to save yourself from doubt. You have to let belief be the starting point of everything. Faith is not an empty slogan. It is a kind of power for which you are willing to sacrifice short-term comfort, accept loneliness, and swallow doubts. It is not that you say I want to succeed, but that you know in your bones, I have no choice. If you don't succeed, you are incomplete. If you don't rush out, you don't deserve peace. So from today on, no more hesitation. No more postponement, no more compromise. You are not here to reasonably exist in this world. You are here to shock it. You must first become the person who believes in yourself, and then the world will begin to believe in you. Success is not the result. It is the proof of the process. It is your persistence when no one cheers, your running when you can't see the end, and your insistence on saying get out of the way. I'll do it when everyone says impossible. So you see, all great starting points are an awakening of mentality. Mentality determines whether you see hope or only obstacles. Determines whether you regard failure as the end or the starting point. It is not the optimism that you have the final say, but the position you choose, which world you stand in. You will live as a person in that world. You think others win with resources, but they actually win with mentality. Carnegie failed in his first business venture and lost all his money, but he did not fall into self-pity of I am not suitable, but directly invested in the next round. He said, when I know I can still choose to continue, I have already won. The biggest common point of successful people is never intelligence, but a stable mentality. It is the ability to still believe in order in chaos and find direction in the dark. Your pain today is not because things are too difficult, but because your mentality is too fragile. You give up too easily, are too easily influenced by others, and are too easily doubted about the path you take because of a few words from others. You regard the voices of others as the judgment of fate, but never dare to stamp it with your own will. You should understand that a truly strong mentality grows out of chaos. It is when there has been no progress for several weeks, you are still willing to get up at 5 o'clock every day. When you see your opponent leading, you can still grit your teeth and tell yourself don't mess up. When you want to escape, want to lie down, and want to leave, tell yourself, this is not the end, it is just a card before upgrading. Because you know, every time you get through it, you are not alive, you are reborn. People with strong mentality will not let the environment determine the state, but use the state to change the environment. They are not afraid of failure, because they know that the real failure is not falling, but the moment of giving up running. You must start to be cruel to yourself. It is not physical abuse, but a war against inner weakness. Stop saying I can't do it, I don't have the conditions, I'm afraid of failure. These voices are just the cancer of your mentality. They are not the real you, they are just the shackles you put on yourself. What you have to do is to break them one by one. Now close your eyes and imagine, is the real strong you still waiting for you to catch up? He stands there, crossing the storm, looking at you and saying, "Don't hesitate, I have been waiting for you for too long." You have to learn to become the military advisor of your own destiny first, instead of being a slave to your emotions. Every time you choose to face pressure rationally, every time you don't lose heart in the trough, every time you tell yourself, "I still have a breath," there is still a battle to fight. You are writing a new chapter for your destiny. Mentality is not a gentle comfort, it is a sharp weapon. It allows you to still step up when everyone is pessimistic about you. Continue to sow hope when all the numbers are not good. When everyone says you are too late, you smile and say, "Just right, I just finished warming up." Don't think that success is for those who are most prepared. It is for those who dare to go out regardless of the conditions. You can fail, but you can't be swallowed by the mentality of failure. You should be like Kazuo Nomori, who insisted on writing morning training with a brush every day when the company was on the verge of bankruptcy, because he knew, the state will change, and the result will change. You should be like Kobe, who regards Los Angeles at 4 a.m. as a secret weapon, because he knows, the time when others sleep is my chance to quietly overtake. All this is mentality first, so don't wait until you have money to change your mindset. Don't wait until you succeed to cultivate self-discipline, and don't wait until you are ready to start growing. You can choose a new mindset now, at this moment, right now. You have to say to yourself, from today on, I will no longer doubt myself, I will no longer submit to mediocrity, and I will no longer get used to failure. I will use a new mindset to rewrite my version. Because I didn't come to this world to compromise, I came to the top. You have a new mindset, so what's next? You have to temper your faith, the inner strength that makes you as solid as a rock even if the whole world is shaking. Faith is not a slogan, but an obsession that goes forward alone in the wilderness and has no one to rely on in the dark night but still refuses to look back. People without faith are like cars without engines, no matter how well you build them, they are just empty shells. But with faith, even if you are just a simple outline, you will eventually reach the end. Look at those who changed the world. It's not how perfect they are, but that they have an unshakable faith. Ford gritted his teeth and persisted after being rejected by banks for financing dozens of times, just because he believed that every ordinary person should have a car of his own. He did not rely on fate, but on faith to break through all the reality. Disney was rejected for loans by 300 to companies, and they said he was overly fantasizing, but he did not give up because he believed. He believed that a child's smile is the world's strongest asset. He knew that dreams are not an escape from reality, but the raw material for reconstructing reality. They have all been knocked down, but no one has been defeated by others. The only thing they need to overcome is the little doubt in their hearts, and they all won. Now it's your turn. You may be standing at the crossroads of life, with haze, unknown, ridicule and uncertainty ahead. But please look up, that is the battlefield of faith. You must learn to create a route when there is no map, cheer yourself when there is no applause, and become a support when there is no support. Because once you have faith, the world can't stop you. You have to believe that no matter where you are now, how much you have, who doesn't understand you, or what background you lack, as long as you are firm enough, fate will take a detour to let you pass. The universe will hear your determination, and time will reward those souls that are not shaken. But the reality is that most people lose at the beginning. They keep saying I'll try but never really decide. They start to doubt halfway through, start to doubt when they encounter difficulties, and immediately doubt when they hear others object. As a result, before they reach the end, their beliefs are completely consumed. You have to learn to protect your beliefs. Like protecting a weak fire, don't let the cold wind blow it out, don't let the rain extinguish it, don't let others' doubts ravage it. Even if the world is extremely indifferent, you have to keep it in your heart because once it burns, it will be a fire that will spread all over the prairie. People with beliefs don't need motivation. They have already planted seeds in their hearts, and every step they take is automatically growing. Do you still remember your childhood dreams? Do you still remember the scene when your heart beat faster for the first time? You used to believe in yourself so much. Why did you give up later? It is not the reality that defeats you, but you who have exchanged faith for compromise. But now, pick it up again. Pick it up, wipe it clean, put it in your chest, and let it beat again. You have to say to yourself, I am worthy, I can, I must. This is not what if I succeed, but I am destined to succeed. From today on, faith is not a choice, but a way of existence. The way you walk, the tone of your voice, the rhythm of your work, all have to become firm. Because a person with faith will be a school of his own even if the whole world opposes him. Even if he has nothing, he can start from scratch. Even if he falls to the bottom, he can grow wings from the cracks of his bones. You are not an ordinary person, you are just waiting for the moment when faith awakens. You have faith, and the fire has been ignited, but where do you want it to burn? Don't forget that faith is power, and the goal is the direction. Faith without a goal will only lead you into an endless burning. You will work hard, be anxious, and be tired, but you will never know what you are chasing. Have you ever noticed that some people are very busy every day, but after a few years, they have achieved nothing? It's not that they don't work hard, but that they don't know where they are going. They are like a ship drifting on the sea, without coordinates or routes. Every change they think is progress, but in fact they are spinning in circles. A clear goal is the light that allows you to pass through all the chaos in life. You must know better than anyone. What do you want? Why do you want it? What are you willing to sacrifice for it? Those seemingly unattainable achievements are never achieved by trying, but by precise locking. You must stare at that point like a sniper. No matter how strong the wind is or how dark the night is, you don't blink. A goal is not an expectation, but a decision. It is not that you say I want $1 million a year, but that you dare to get up at 5 o'clock every day, refuse entertainment at night, and don't talk nonsense with people for a month, just to push that thing forward one step. When Lincoln was young, he was in despair and even wrote a suicide note. He said that he can't see the meaning of life, but in pain, he asked himself a question. If I survive, can I leave something for others in this life? From that moment on, he had a goal, so a butcher's son became a president who changed the fate of the country. The goal is not a fancy language. It is the source of every choice you make, the button you press to continue working late at night, and the one who says I'm not there yet when everyone gives up. You must make your goals specific. Not I want to succeed, but I will make 1 million this year. Not I want to be healthy, but I exercise for 40 minutes every day. Not I want to be better, but I read 10 books in 3 months, improve my expression, and prepare for a promotion. The more vague the goal, the more lost you will be. The clearer the goal, the more powerful you will be. Because when you know where you are going, the world will start to make way for you. You will find that some temptations begin to automatically stay away. You are no longer easily shaken. You begin to say this is not important. This is not worth it. You begin to command your life like a commander, instead of running around like a soldier. Stop saying you don't have time, resources, or background. It's not that you don't have them. You don't have a goal. Look at those truly powerful people. Their daily schedules are arranged like war plans, and every step leads to the core goal. They refuse ineffective socializing, don't touch short-term pleasure, and would rather be alone than waste. Why? Because the goal is clear, so there is no need to explain. A sense of purpose will purify your life and pull your energy back to a straight line from countless directions. You begin to be immune to noise, you begin to be allergic to procrastination, and you begin to completely hate almost as fine. You begin to become like a knife, not touching unnecessary things, only cutting the obstacles that should be cut. At that time, every step you take is forward. Every failure is a deviation to the right direction. Every hesitation will be awakened by the goal itself. So from now on, don't say I want to try, you have to say, I have decided. Write down what you want, read it 3 times a day, and stick it on the bedside, computer, mobile phone, and wallet until it becomes your breath, your eyes, and the gravity of your life. Because the goal is the landing point of faith and the only lighthouse for you to pass through the fog. If you are no longer vague, fate will not dare to perfunctorily treat you. You have a clear goal, but the next question is, what kind of person do you want to be? What kind of life do you want to live? The goal can be a short-term plan that you can achieve now, while the vision is the grand blueprint you pursue in your life. The goal tells you what to do every day, and the vision is the rising stars in that distant sky. A goal without a vision is like a machine without a soul. It makes you work and busy, but it cannot give you real satisfaction and strength. You must learn to find the vision that can inspire every drop of sweat in your soul. Disney's vision is not just to build an animation company. His vision is to bring dreams to children all over the world and bring childhood memories to countless adults. It is this vision that makes Disney a cultural empire in the world. Many people think that he is just selling movie tickets, but he is not just that. He is changing the way the whole world entertains, making the impossible possible. Should your life also have such a grand vision? Vision is the light you can still see when you face countless difficulties. It is the source of all your motivation and the reason why you keep going when you are confused and depressed. Those great entrepreneurs, scientists, artists, and successful people are not pursuing a short-term goal. They are pursuing a huge and revolutionary vision. This vision can be to improve the production method of the entire industry, to solve a global problem, to change cultural concepts, lifestyles, or even to create a whole new world. Do you have such a vision? Do you know that the one thing that is more important than the one in front of you is the vision of the future? What is more attractive to you than a little success? Maybe you want to change the entire education system, or you want to bring greener and more environmentally friendly technology to the world. Maybe you want to break the boundaries of the industry and create unprecedented experiences, or your vision is to let everyone find meaning and purpose in their lives. But no matter what kind of vision it is, it must be grand enough, eye-catching enough, and enough to inspire your infinite inner motivation. You have to know that vision is not just living for yourself. It is a strong desire that emerges from the depths of your heart, which drives you to break all routines, challenge all rules, and achieve a life far beyond ordinary people. People without vision spend their whole lives drawing circles for others, living in the expectations of others, and living the lives of others. But once you have a vision, you start to design a blueprint for yourself and become the one who controls the future. Vision allows you to dare to move forward. It allows you to see your potential and see the vast world that you could not imagine. It is your deepest driving force and the reason why you can still choose to move forward in the face of all difficulties and pain. Think about it. If you decide to pay for your vision today and start taking action tomorrow, those small steps and accumulation will gradually move closer to that grand goal. Have you ever thought about what kind of person you will be in 10 years? Your vision will determine every path you have taken in the past 10 years. Everyone can find their own vision, but the key is whether you dare to believe in it and pursue it. No longer satisfied with the status quo, no longer let the trivialities of life dominate yourself. Instead, you must welcome the greater self, the self who can influence the world and change the future. Your life is not just for survival, but for doing something great and creating some memorable value in a limited time. You have to have this awareness. You must not only live for yourself, but also for the world, for society, and for future children. You must contribute your unique light to the world, to light up the lives of others, and to inspire more people to change their destiny. When you pursue your vision with all your heart and soul, you will find that life itself is full of infinite possibilities. Those who dare not pursue can only watch the excitement from the sidelines and will never experience the feeling of true prosperity of life. When you find your vision, you are one step closer to success. But have you ever thought about why you pursue it so persistently? Why every difficulty and every challenge can make you stand up and keep going? This is because there is a deeper driving force behind you. That is your purpose in life. The purpose of life is not a superficial goal or a short-term success. It is a call of life. A sense of mission in your soul from the moment you were born. It is the strongest voice in your heart, making you unwilling to be mediocre and unwilling to go with the flow. It makes you persist silently in unknown places and stick to the end when others give up. You must understand, you are not fighting to fill the void. You are pursuing the great purpose for which you work hard and sacrifice. Your purpose in life is not given by others, but by yourself. When you find this purpose, all external pressures and difficulties become insignificant. You will find that you are no longer fighting for living well, but working hard for living meaningfully. The purpose of life is not a goal, it is more like a direction. It is the question you ask yourself when making any decision or facing any choice. Is this consistent with my purpose? What kind of person do you want to be? What do you want to bring to the world? What kind of contribution do you want to make with your limited time? These questions are not answered by everyone, but everyone should think about them. Because once you know the meaning of your life, you will find that all the difficulties are worth it and all the hard work will not be in vain. You have read the stories of those celebrities. Behind their success, it is not just to make money and enjoy glory. Edison wanted to change the world by inventing the light bulb. Jobs brought a better technological experience to the world by creating Apple. Martin Luther King, despite facing countless violence and oppression, still stood up to promote social change and defend human equality. Behind the success of these people is not a bunch of tools and methods, but a clear purpose in their hearts. Their lives are guided by this purpose, even if there is chaos around them. Every step they take is solid and firm. Your purpose in life is not for others to see, nor for external evaluation. It comes from the truest voice in your heart. It makes your heart beat faster and makes you feel that life is burning. Your purpose can be anything. It can be to build a great business and change an industry. It can also be to help more people live a better life. It can be to bring happiness to your family and a better future to your children, no matter what it is. This purpose can only be defined by you, and its power will become your driving force to move forward. However, don't be swayed by any external standards. Don't let money, status, and success in the eyes of others define your life. You have to really find the purpose that belongs to you. It does not depend on any external evaluation. It is just the voice of your heart and the career you devote your life to. If you find it, you will find the meaning of life. All difficulties will become your tempering. All doubts will be transformed into the power of your continuous self-transcendence. Your purpose in life is not how much you can do in your life, but how many meaningful things you can do. You must know that true success does not lie in how much wealth and fame you have, but in whether you can make your life and the career you do truly affect the world and change the fate of some people. You don't work hard to live good enough, but to live worthily. What you pursue are those careers that can bring hope and change to others, and those goals that can make you feel fulfilled and meaningful throughout your life. This is the driving force of your struggle, knowing why you are on this road and why you are so persistent. You will find that no matter how far the road is, as long as it fits your life purpose, you can go on without hesitation. You have a clear life purpose and have found the goals and visions you really want to pursue, but all this will only be empty talk if it is not supported by self-discipline. Self-discipline is an essential weapon for achieving great dreams. It is a kind of power that can keep you true to your original intention and move forward steadily no matter how tempting the outside world is or how complex the environment is. It is not a simple self-restraint, but your persistence in transforming every short-term desire into a long-term goal, and the power that you can still control yourself in the face of constant temptation and anxiety. All success is based on self-discipline. You may have thought that there are too many successful people in this world who don't seem to be smarter or more talented than you. But what they have in common is that they have learned self-discipline. Look at those who have really done it. Entrepreneurial madmen like Jobs, and people like Malala, who bravely speak out for their ideals. Their success is not accidental, but after countless self-management and transcendence. Behind their overnight fame, they all get up early, go to bed late, focus, and persist. Do you also have such self-discipline? Real self-discipline comes from inner strength. It is not forced by the external environment, but you are willing to hone yourself for your goals and dreams. It is manifested in that you get up on time at 5 o'clock in the morning to fight for your own career. It is manifested in that you refuse to spend time with those boring people, and would rather read, think, and improve yourself alone. It is manifested in that you temper your physical fitness, mind, and ability every day, and do as much as possible, instead of relaxing occasionally. You may say, I am not a perfect person. I am also lazy sometimes. Why can others do it, but I can't? In fact, truly powerful people are not without shortcomings, but they can use self-discipline to allow themselves to continue to move forward in an imperfect state. Self-discipline is not just being strict. It is an ability that allows you to not lose your direction in the face of temptation. It allows you to stick to your decision and take every step when you want to give up. This ability allows you to no longer be swayed by short-term happiness or bound by comfort at the moment, but to be willing to devote time and energy to greater goals. Can you imagine how great your progress would be if you could strictly control every day and live according to your own plan instead of wasting time procrastinating and dealing with meaningless trivialities? Self-discipline allows you to become your own master. rather than being controlled by the outside world. It gives you the power to do things that are good for you every day. You have to know that every minute and every second of your life is part of your life. You can choose to waste it, or make full use of it, and devote every moment to the process of working hard for your dreams and goals. Those short-term temptations you reject are the accumulation of your future success. Self-discipline is not only reflected in daily life, but also in your way of thinking. You can self-discipline and maintain the habit of reading every morning to expand your knowledge and vision. You can self-discipline and insist on reviewing your progress regularly every week and constantly optimize your action plan. Self-discipline will save you from informed thinking and make you live more planned and goal-oriented, rather than letting boredom and external interference sway you. Many people often encounter setbacks and difficulties when pursuing success, and those who choose to give up often choose to slack off when they need to persist the most. They may think, "It doesn't matter if I fail, I'll talk about it tomorrow," but you should know that today's slackness is tomorrow's bigger failure. Every time you indulge yourself, you are one step further away from your dream. You may experience failure and may feel low at some point, but remember, successful people have never failed, but they can stand up again in the face of failure, rely on firm self-discipline, adjust their state, and continue to move forward. No matter what difficulties you encounter today, even if you face a state of having nothing, as long as you can maintain self-discipline, everything is not over yet. Every time you take a step, every time you overcome laziness, you are one step closer to success. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Perfection is never waiting. It is accumulated in every self-discipline and persistence. You have beliefs, goals, visions, and self-discipline, but all of this ultimately comes down to action. Action is the bridge that turns dreams into reality. Without action, all beliefs and visions are just castles in the air. Without action, all self-discipline and persistence cannot produce any practical results. You can have as many plans, goals, and strategies as you want, but if you don't take that step, all your efforts will stay where they are. But it's not easy. Because action is never easy, it is often accompanied by uncertainty, risk, and fear. Many people see the results they want, but hesitate to take the first step. Have you ever repeatedly thought about, should I start now, at that critical moment? But you have to understand that without action, there will be no change. If you keep waiting for the perfect time, you will never wait for it. If you are always worried about failure and imperfection, then you will always stay in the thinking and planning stage, away from your ideal life. Perfect time does not exist. Successful people don't wait until the conditions are perfect before taking action. They are always in perfect conditions, but they still take action without hesitation. Action is the bridge between you and your dream. It will not be delayed by your hesitation. It will only become stronger because of your continued persistence. Have you ever heard such a story? Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, also faced countless doubts and risks before founding Amazon. His family and friends thought it was an unrealistic gamble, but he did not look back, but firmly took the first step, writing code in the garage and creating an internet bookstore. He didn't even have a complete business plan at the time, nor did he have huge financial support. But he knew that the only way to change his destiny was to take action. Bezos' success was not achieved overnight, but came from his continuous attempts and actions. Even in the face of countless challenges and doubts, he still did not stop. Do you have a dream? Do you have a goal? Do you have faith? Then take action now. The first step of action is often the hardest step. It is always full of fear, hesitation, and uncertainty. You will think, what if I fail? What if I can't do it? But you must learn to face these questions and take the first step firmly. You can't put all your hopes on the promise of I will do it later, because later will never belong to you. The only thing you can control is now. From this moment on, you can decide the direction of your life and what kind of person you will become. So, don't wait any longer. Keep that lofty dream in your heart and turn it into practical actions. Every day's effort and every attempt are steps to success. And remember, action is not a success that can be achieved overnight. It is a series of small accumulations. You need to turn your daily efforts into habits, and every day's small progress will eventually converge into the power to change your destiny. With action, there is the possibility of change. Without action, you will always stay where you are and will never be able to realize your dreams. Don't let procrastination become the enemy of your success. Success belongs to those who dare to act, dare to face uncertainty, and dare to move forward in the fog. Remember, your actions are what your future looks like. Every road is your own, every breakthrough is your own choice. So, today, from this moment, take action. Don't let your dreams stay in your imagination, and don't let every tomorrow become tomorrow's me. What you can do is to start immediately and do your best to act. You already have faith, goals, clear vision and self-discipline, and put them into action. Along the way, you may have gained a lot, but do you often stop and be grateful for everything you have? Gratitude is not to please others, nor is it an act done to please others. It is an inner strength that allows you to remain humble and sober while pursuing excellence. Gratitude reminds you that no matter how successful and powerful you are still part of this world and still cannot do without the help and support of others. Gratitude is not to forget your own efforts, but to understand that every step you take, there are many forces supporting you behind. Every progress you make is inseparable from the help of those who have silently paid behind you. Every achievement you make is inseparable from those who have helped, supported and inspired you. No one can succeed alone, no matter how hard you try. There will be countless people involved in your road to success, family, friends, mentors, colleagues, and even people you have never met. Gratitude can keep you awake and understand that behind every achievement is the result of the joint efforts of countless people. You may have felt lonely on the road of struggle and felt that the road ahead was full of thorns. But if you stop and look at those who support you behind you, you will find that you are never alone. The power of gratitude is a kind of a powerful and humble power. It keeps you from being overwhelmed by success and reminds you to stay awake at all times. It allows you to remember your original intention and the people and things that have helped you when you have wealth, status, and influence. But gratitude is not only a thank you to others, but also a thank you to yourself. Be grateful for your efforts, be grateful for your persistence, and be grateful for the pain you have experienced, because they have shaped you today. If it weren't for those countless sleepless nights, if it weren't for those moments of falling and getting up again, your strength today might not be so profound. You have to learn to be grateful for those seemingly unfavorable situations. Those moments that once made you painful are often the most precious wealth in your life. It is because you have experienced those lows that you can deeply understand the meaning of success. It is because you have experienced those challenges that you have learned how to persist in the wind and rain. The power of gratitude can not only make you a better person, it can also make you more open, tolerant, and humble. It makes you more willing to help others and give back to society. When you can be grateful to others from the bottom of your heart, you will also find that the world will give you more opportunities and more support. Gratitude is your inner strength to maintain stability on the road to success. No matter how the outside world changes, never forget your original intention. You must understand that the essence of gratitude is to remind you that success is not isolated. It is a process of continuous accumulation and common growth. The more grateful you are, the more the world will give back to you. Those things you do for others in ordinary days will eventually become the basis for your future success. Those fires you light for others will eventually bring light to yourself. From today on, learn to say to yourself every morning, I am grateful for everything in this life. I am grateful for every opportunity. And I am grateful for every journey. Let gratitude become your daily habit and let it become the source of your strength to move forward. The power of gratitude will allow you to see more opportunities and more beauty. It will remind you that all success is the result of joint efforts, and all happiness comes from gratitude and sharing. You have faith, goals, vision, action and self-discipline, and maintain a grateful attitude. But whether all this can succeed depends on whether you can cope with those unforeseen challenges, unexpected setbacks, and the ever-changing environment. Because your road will never be smooth sailing, challenges and difficulties are inevitable. The key is how you deal with them. Resilience is your flexibility in the face of difficulties, your ability to quickly adjust direction and find new breakthroughs in emergencies. It is not to avoid problems, but to turn every problem into a new opportunity and every challenge into an opportunity for growth. Do you know? Those who are truly successful are not because they never fail, but because they find the power of rebirth in failure. They are not afraid of change, but regard change as a ladder for their own progress. In other words, resilience is not a prediction of the future, but how to find your foothold in an uncertain environment and continue to evolve. In a rapidly changing world, we encounter various challenges and uncertainties every day. It may be changes in the market, the rise of competitors, the upgrading of technology, or even changes in some of your own conditions. Faced with these, many people will choose to stick to their comfort zone, resist change, and fear failure. But the truly powerful people are often those who can flexibly respond to changes and constantly find new opportunities from challenges. For example, Apple did not become famous at the beginning. In the 1990s, Apple faced tremendous competitive pressure, and many people believed that it would be surpassed by Microsoft and other giants. But when Jobs returned to Apple, he not only redefined the company's vision, but also dared to overturn the old rules. It was in this ever-changing process that he opened up a new direction for Apple, from PC to personal mobile devices, from iPod to iPhone, from mobile phones to smart ecosystems. Jobs led Apple to constantly meet challenges in the changes and eventually became one of the most valuable companies in the world. You must learn to stay clear in uncertainty, not to resist change, but to adapt to it, use it, and even control it. When facing difficulties, you must have the courage to say, "This is a new opportunity, and it is my time to break free and reshape myself." And when facing adversity, you must learn to flexibly adjust your strategy, change those methods that are no longer applicable, and embrace new ideas. You must remember, success is not static. It is a process of constantly adapting to the environment and finding new breakthroughs. You must learn to stay calm when you encounter uncertainty. Don't let emotions determine your choices. And don't give up your goals because of a little setback. The truly powerful people are not those who have a smooth journey, but those who can still adjust their course firmly in the wind and rain. Every failure, every difficulty, is the soil for your growth. They do not pull you into the abyss, but forge your stronger ability. You need to have the courage to face uncertainty, adapt to changes in the environment, and find new opportunities in it. And the most important thing is to believe. When you have the ability to adapt, nothing in the world can knock you down. You can stand up straight in adversity, you can see hope in adversity, and you can find your own direction in the storm. No matter what challenges you face today, no matter how bumpy the road ahead is, as long as you have enough adaptability, you can get out of it and find your own sky. Just like in a chess game, every attack of your opponent is your opportunity to fight back, and every storm is the moment for you to redefine your route. You must learn to deal with all the fluctuations in life with a positive attitude, and don't let the environment control your pace of progress. Take every change and every challenge as an opportunity for your self-improvement, to adapt, to adjust, and to become stronger. When you can cope with all unpredictable changes, your life will become extremely powerful. No challenge in the world can make you retreat. You will find that you can not only overcome the difficulties in front of you, but also gain new strength after each challenge. You have learned how to adapt and how to turn flexibly in a changing world, but what should you do when facing pressure, huge challenges, and an unpredictable future? How can you persevere under heavy pressure and continue to move forward? This is the true meaning of stress resistance. Stress resistance means that you can still find light in the darkest moment and stand strong in the most painful time. It is not an ability to escape from difficulties, but a courage to face difficulties. It allows you to remain calm, tenacious, and keep moving forward in the face of pressure and blows. Behind every success, there are countless unknown difficult moments. No one has a smooth journey. Behind every great achievement, there are countless difficulties, challenges, and tests. You must know that success is not achieved overnight. It is a process pieced together by countless difficulties, pressures, and failures. Those great men, whether great leaders in history or successful entrepreneurs in modern times, have experienced tremendous pressure and challenges. Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart, encountered countless difficulties in the early days of his business, and even faced the crisis of bankruptcy, but he never gave up. Every time he fell, he got up and continued to move forward with his tenacious ability to withstand pressure. It was this fearless spirit of stress resistance that ultimately made Walmart a world-class retail empire. Have you ever experienced a moment of collapse? Have you ever felt that you were about to be crushed by the burden of life? Have you ever thought about giving up this uncertain road? But now, what you need to know is, those difficulties, those setbacks, those moments that make you collapse, are your most powerful opportunities. Stress resistance does not mean that you will not feel pain, but that you can persist in pain. In countless dark days, you still maintain your faith and continue to take the next step. Life is a process of constantly bearing pressure and being challenged. Those who can endure pain, withstand pressure, and not be knocked down will eventually win on the long road. Those who choose to retreat in the face of difficulties will never see the dawn of success. Pressure and difficulties will not exist forever, they are temporary. What matters is how you deal with them. When you learn to withstand pressure, you will find that all difficulties become insignificant. Every time you persevere in the face of pressure, it is evidence that you have become stronger. You must learn to find opportunities in pressure and hope in difficulties. You may fall, but always remember that the real strong are those who can get up from the fall. Every time you stand up, you become stronger. Every time you face difficulties and persevere, you are one step closer to success. Stress resistance is your ability to persist in sailing in the storm. It allows you to maintain your composure in the storm and not lose your way in the huge waves. It allows you not to be defeated by short-term setbacks, but to draw strength from every challenge and become more resilient. Remember, every pressure is an opportunity to grow. It makes you stronger, smarter, and more resilient. Nothing can defeat you unless you give up on yourself. And what you have to do is to stand up from every challenge and move forward with your chest held high. You have no reason to give up because the moment you persist, you are a strong person. You already have faith, goals, vision, self-discipline, action, gratitude, adaptability, and stress resistance. But without continuous learning, all these powers will gradually lose their value. The world is constantly changing, and you must keep pace with the times. Continuous learning is an ever-ending pursuit. It is not to cope with exams or to meet external standards, but to allow you to constantly discover yourself, break through limits and surpass yourself. You may have a rich reserve of knowledge and experience today, but if you stop learning and stop growing, you will be eliminated and fall behind others. You see, those who are often called successful people can continue to occupy a place in the industry not because of their past success, but because of their unremitting learning spirit. Bill Gates sets a reading challenge every year, and he himself concludes, you can gain countless experiences through reading. The same is true for Jeff Bezos. He never stops learning and always maintains a desire for new knowledge and new technologies. Learning provides you with an ability to constantly refresh yourself. No matter what industry you are in, no matter what achievements you have made, the speed of knowledge update makes it impossible for you to stagnate. You can't be content with the status quo, and you can't be satisfied with the state of I already know it. If you stop learning, you will start to fall behind. Continuous learning is not only about gaining knowledge through books, but also about accumulating wisdom through experience and practice. You will find that every success in the world is inseparable from the process of learning. Those who have made great achievements in specific fields often break through their boundaries and broaden their horizons through unremitting learning and deep thinking. You must realize that every moment of life is full of learning opportunities. You can learn from others, learn lessons from failure, and find inspiration from success. You can learn new things from every setback, every adventure, and every challenge. The important thing is whether you can maintain this desire and accept every gift from the world. Today, you can make the right decisions and deal with various complex situations, all of which are derived from your past learning accumulation. And tomorrow you will still face new challenges and new problems. At this time, you need to use what you have learned today to solve those problems, but you also need to continue learning and prepare for the unknown. You must understand that learning will never end. No matter how high your position is, no matter how powerful your field is, as long as you are willing, there is always room for improvement. Learning keeps you energetic and curious about the world. It keeps you from being left behind in the era of rapid development and always stays at the forefront of the times. So, no matter where you are now and what achievements you have made, you can't relax your pursuit of learning. Whether it is learning new skills, learning new knowledge, or learning new ways of thinking, continuous learning keeps you ahead. You have to learn to set learning goals for yourself every day, not only to achieve career breakthroughs but also to make you a better person. Only by continuous learning can you break through limitations and those seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Every time you learn, you will become stronger, faster, and smarter. You must know that success is not an end, but a process, and this process requires continuous learning and continuous transcendence. If you don't continue to learn, you will start to regress and stagnate. So, everything you do today is laying the foundation for tomorrow's success. Every day you learn is laying a more solid foundation for the future. All struggles and all persistence will eventually point to one question: do you have the courage to change? Change is your last step towards success and the key to whether you can meet the future. No one will succeed at the beginning, and no one can achieve success overnight. Every step you take in this world is a step of change. It is through every little choice, every brave decision, and every day-to-day effort that you finally shape your own destiny. You must know that success is not a reward given by the outside world, but the result you get by constantly changing yourself and changing the status quo. If you don't change, you can't change your destiny. If you don't stand up and fight for it, you will never have everything you want. The beginning of change comes from your inner awakening. Have you realized that you have the ability to change everything? You are no longer the you of the past, you are no longer influenced by the environment, others, or any external factors. You control your future and your destiny. You may have felt that you are not good enough, not strong enough, or even dare not believe that you have the ability to change. But now, you already know that the only person who can limit you is yourself. Every time you give up, you are putting shackles on yourself. Every time you insist, you are opening up infinite possibilities for yourself. Change does not start from the outside world, but from a small decision in your heart. I decided that starting today, I will never look back. All your abilities and dreams are hidden in the potential in your heart. All you need to do is to dare to dig it out and dare to pursue the self you never dared to imagine. No matter what kind of predicament you are in now, no matter how low your starting point is, it doesn't matter. What matters is whether you can make changes from this moment on and take the bravest step. You can start with small things, change step by step, and gradually strengthen your strength. Today, you may be just an ordinary person, and you may not have achieved your ideal appearance, but you must believe that every effort today will become the cornerstone of future achievements. No one is great from the beginning, and everyone must achieve their goals through their own efforts and changes little by little. When you start to change, you will find that the world will also begin to change. You will encounter more opportunities, more noble people, and more possibilities. Change will open the door to your future, and those dreams that were originally unattainable will gradually approach with your courageous changes. You are not living in the expectations of others, but living out your inner calling, voice. You have to remember that real change is not to meet the standards of the outside world, but to respond to your own inner voice and realize your own destiny. The power of change comes from your courage to let go of the past, to step out of your comfort zone, and to face challenges and the unknown. Every change is a process of self-transcendence, and every persistence is your step towards a better version of yourself. Today, you have to tell yourself, I dare to change, I dare to surpass, and I dare to embark on this road of no return. Because I know that only change can bring real freedom, real power, and everything I desire. From now on, decide to change and start with little things. Today, you are standing at a brand new starting point. You have countless opportunities to achieve yourself, change your destiny, and live the greatest self. This is not the end, but a brand new beginning. You already have all the power to change your world and create the future you want.